My firm, Thomas Safran and Associates, were selected, how many years ago, Andrew? 5, 6?
I think it's 2006.
Peter Zovak, where are you? Peter was part of that. Where are you, Peter? Hiding out. There's Peter. Peter Zovak, let me acknowledge you because you were there right at the beginning. How many years ago? When did you select us? Can we remember?
2006. I think it's 2006.
2006? Well, then that's quick. That's quicker than some. Okay, and it was quicker because Glendale came to bat and helped us so dramatically. And we were in a competition, and it got down to 3 developers. And I remember we went through a selection committee of 5 members of the city that were on the panel, and we told them that if you select us, it will get our personal attention. We're not about quantity, we're about quality. We're about extraordinary attention to detail, because that's what makes us a home. I said that every building that I work on is about creating a home for our residents, as if my own family were living in it. And my parents recently died. I am now 65, so now I qualify. But when I started building these, I was 29, and I looked younger. And so I remember finishing the first project. I was 31. They said, "You can't be Tom Safran. You're too young." Well, I wish somebody would say that lately, but nobody does. I now have my Medicare card, so 2 weeks from now when we open up a senior building, I'm younger than, I'm older than a lot of our residents. And here we have a mixture. We have seniors and families. Glendale had a competition. I think some of you know. I think it was 6th competition. It was a lottery. And how many, Peter, were received? 6,000? About 6,000 people applied, and the people living here are the lucky recipients of that. And we can't tell you how grateful we are for the opportunity. I always wanted to do a project in Glendale. I look back to my career started in '69 in Chicago for HUD, and then in '70 I moved out here working for HUD, and I left HUD in '74, and I put my very first project together in the fall of '74. And my goal was to really do wonderful, affordable housing, that while at HUD I would fight with developers over the quality that they built, because the attitude was, if you build it, like Field of Dreams, if you build it, they will come. And you didn't have to do something special. But I don't agree with that, and that's our philosophy. We want to do and create a development that's better. And when I drive down the street, I think we achieve that. It looks better than the conventional housing on the block, because certainly when we started, there was incredible stigma to low-income housing. It was considered to be, the projects. It was public housing. That was the perception, whether or not the public builds it or a private sector builds this. In this case, we are in partnership with Housing Corporation of America. Are they here?
Ron is not here.
Okay, they're not here, but we have...
John Olson, his son, is here.
John Olson? Hello. Okay, so one of the board members of Housing Corporation of America, we have a nonprofit partner to do these with. To be very honest, to take advantage. Everybody, in order to do affordable housing today, is taking advantage of, if you're doing low-income housing, you get property tax abatements. So that's often, looked down on. But it is what you need to do to make these things pencil and work out, and it's all part of the process. And so our nonprofit partner helps us with that and with doing activities. They have people who do programs in our developments along with our own staff. So thank you, Housing Corporation of America.
When you make a $1.5 trillion commitment to invest in your communities, you end up at a lot of groundbreakings and a lot of grand openings. I would tell you that as a lender, what most people think we enjoy is closing the loan, putting it on the books. And of course, when the loan repays, we're also very happy. But this type of get-together is when we are the most happy, because we get to see our dollars, our hard-earned dollars. Your community gets the benefit of the investment, and we see them at work making a change in neighborhoods for the better. This business is about relationships. We've had a long one with Thomas Safran and Associates. We want it to be longer. I don't need to go on and on about the quality of the work they do. You're surrounded by it. So I will just say, bring us another one, Tom. Okay? Thank you.
Thank you so much. I wanted to, we have several elected officials. Before I bring up our council representative, I wanted to acknowledge, I think you wanted to say something. We have a couple people here. You've heard of Hillary Clinton wrote a book, It Takes a Village to Raise a Family or raise a person or child. And it certainly took a village, a city, and a community of so many different entities to build this project. And I know most of you don't realize how many different people in the city, how many people in the county. But just, I want to bring up here, Rita, I'm going to get this right, Haji Manukian. She is, did I get it right?
Yes, you did.
Okay, she is a field deputy for Supervisor Antonovich because we got money from the county to do this out of City of Industry funds. And so there were so many pieces of the pie. I don't even know if you realize that the county participated, and we're so grateful for them. So thank you for coming today.
It's my pleasure. The MC stole all my lines. So I'm very pleased to be here on behalf of Supervisor Mike Antonovich and the Community Development Commission of LA County, who was happy to contribute to this wonderful project. And I'd like to present you with this, commemorating the specialness of today.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Well, Shawn Rogan is the executive director of the Community Development Commission of the county, and Lois Starr, who I've known for years because she used to work at HUD with me, and her late husband is the director of housing. So that's kind of special. We had somebody else here from the county, the state. Anyway, tell me your name again. Help me. Thank you so much, because how much money, okay, help me out. How much money did the county give us? $865,000, and it comes out of the City of Industry has a redevelopment agency, but they have no people living there. And as part of an agreement with the state to do a redevelopment agency, they have the county administering their block grant money because 20% of community development block grant funds at least must be spent on housing. So that's how we received that money from the county. It was one piece of the pie that made all this possible, and we're so grateful for that. Now, we also have Mary Hovajimian from Congressman Adam Schiff. Are you here, Mary? Come on up. We received federal tax credits, and I'm going to summarize it very simply. We've received 9% federal tax credits for this project. That's a program that Ronald Reagan, some say unknowingly, signed in 1986, but it was a permanent program that was done for affordable housing, and all 50 states have an agency that distributes these tax credits to sponsors of affordable housing. So once we got approval from the city of Glendale, and got a lot of money, we submitted an application to the state for federal tax credit. And we didn't get it the first go-around. We got it in the second go-around. It's very, very competitive. And we are so grateful because the congressman regularly, strongly supports this program, and we're very grateful for him, and we're grateful that Mary came here today to represent your congressman.
Thank you. Thank you very much. It is an honor to be here on behalf of Congressman Adam Schiff to thank the efforts of the Glendale Housing Authority, TSA, and of course, we cannot forget all the wonderful partners who made this effort possible. You gave families a home and for them to look forward to something new in their lives, and this truly brightens our community. Thank you.
Thank you. What a great day. It's a great day for not only us, but obviously for the residents. Let me start by recognizing the other members of the Housing Authority. Council member Laura Friedman is here. And Don Mincy was sitting a minute ago. He's in the shade now. And Laura Parazian. Laura Parazian is also a member of the authority. Well, let me start by taking off my coat, actually. But let me start by talking about the neighborhood and what this really means. I mean, this is part of a strategic plan that we decided on years ago to try to reinvest in South Glendale, and we define South Glendale as basically the neighborhood south of the 134 freeway. So the city of Glendale, through the community development block grants, through redevelopment, has poured tens of millions of dollars in these neighborhoods, which are the highest, most dense neighborhoods in the entire city, and among the most dense neighborhoods in Southern California. And so this is just one project. In addition to this project, we're also going to be doing a mini park right around the corner on Maryland. We've already approved the design. We're going out to bid. So not only these residents, but other residents in the neighborhood are going to have a very nice park right around the corner. Then, as part of our strategic plan, we also work with the school district and try to do dual projects. So for instance, Adams Middle School, which is about a block away, in the future we hope to be able to work with the school district and make those facilities available to the residents in this part of Glendale. And what we need more than anything else here for all the young kids, including little Eric, who is all dressed up and giving us the tour, is soccer fields. Soccer is incredibly popular, and so we hope to do lots of work with the school district. Now, in terms of the project, as Tom mentioned, the city put in $4.2 million. Altogether, it's a $13 million investment, and there are 30 affordable rental housing units. And as I mentioned, it's a key component and catalyst of this East Garfield neighborhood revitalization plan. And incidentally, this neighborhood actually even has its own cops attached to it. You saw a couple of them. Well, you saw the supervisor and one of the officers. So we actually have in these cop units, we actually have officers that spend all their time in this surrounding area, get to know all the people, work with the residents, etc. And what we hope to do is to revitalize the neighborhood, provide the rental housing, remove the blight, and continue our public improvements. So on behalf of the City Council, the residents of the City of Glendale, let me congratulate the staff, the developers and management team, and congratulate the people who will be living here for a long, long time. I saw a lot of smiles. And actually, in talking to some of the people that don't live here, I kept saying, wouldn't you like to live here? Yeah, absolutely. Everyone would like to live here. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Tom. Thank you. I will keep it brief. Excuse me. First, let me just start off by saying I'm absolutely thrilled to be here today on this day of celebration. These projects, as Tom mentioned, take a long time to produce and to get us to the point where we actually can have an open house and really appreciate the road we followed to get here. And so this really is a day of celebration. When I've said this numerous times, sometimes when I appear before council and we are raising the funds and getting the entitlement approvals to build buildings and communities like this. That's really what this is. This is a community, and that's what we like to say. We're community builders. And there's three things we like to do that are goals of ours. The first is to do an absolute social good, which is to provide affordable housing for families and seniors. The second is to go into areas and to really inspire them, to go in and redevelop them, to revitalize them. And the final thing, which, there's many goals, but if I can narrow it down to three, the third thing is to absolutely produce communities that when you see them, you stop and you say, wow. And, judging by a lot of the responses, and that's a fun part for me coming to these open houses, is hearing some feedback. Well, here's the unveiling of this development, and to have all of you come up and tell me comments how this is an oasis in the middle of southern Glendale, to this is absolutely a beautiful project. I just want to say how much I appreciate that. So thank you. To do this, it actually does take a village, and Jordan sometimes makes fun of me for saying that, but it absolutely does take a village. And in this crowd, I'm just going to thank. Tom went through some of the council members and housing authority members. However, there's plenty of other city staff here that have helped make this project a reality. I'm sure Tom would also, and I would like to thank Jim Starr, the city manager, for his commitment and really leadership in helping us get where we are. So thank you. There's also, I'm just going to read a few names here. Though Peter Zovac, as Tom mentioned, he was involved in this project from the beginning, and it was at least 4 years ago that we did produce this RFP. I think there were 15 other applicants, and he was the person that we worked with. And initially, he was, he held his cards very close to his vest, but after winning the award and working through them to get to this point, we're just so appreciative of your also leadership and guidance in making this project a reality. The assistant city manager is here, Robert McFall, or maybe he's not here, but I thank him as well. Mike Fortney, he's a project manager. Where is he? There he is. Thank you, Mike. I'm going to give you kudos because you're in the trenches with us, and so thank you so much for your efforts. And Sona, is she here? Just want to acknowledge her. Thank you, Sona. Sona's also a city staff member who worked with us on many of the projects, but particularly she gets a lot of kudos for her work in also the lease-up of the building. Alan Loomis, is he here? Well, he's an urban planner. Eric Krause, a senior planner. He was on the project at the beginning. He might be inside. And Anne Bockenkamp, is she here? So hi, thank you to you. Anita Bedelian, is she here? She's a city staff member also. And I could go on, but the city of Glendale, it really does take all of you to make this project a reality. And so if I didn't mention your name, we absolutely do thank you so much for your efforts. And just it takes a lot of intelligence and smarts and teamwork to put this together. So thank you very much. I'm just going to mention a few people that from our staff at TSA that really put in a lot of effort to do this. I'm looking right now at Kevin Napoli. Kevin Napoli is a recent hire of ours, but he helped really do a lot of the finishing of this project. And when you look around, it was his input that helped, get it to where it is. So thank you, Kevin. There's some other staff members here. Oscar, hello to you. He's a project manager. I want to thank you. Tyler Monroe, thank you. I see Hart Comas Daniels. He's also, he was an assistant project manager working on this. He's now been promoted to a project manager of a new project we have in another city. So hello to you and thank you for all your effort. I see Shanoa back there. Hi, Shanoa. Shanoa, thank you for yours as well. There's also a whole development partners that it takes to produce these things. And Pacific Empire Builders, they were our contractor, and they were selected through a competitive bidding process at the beginning of construction. Oh, I see Rick Siebert, CFO. I just want to acknowledge him with TSA. There he is in the back. So hello. And he worked with us with Pacific Empire, Dan Mahoney and Randall Thompson. I see Randall in the back there and Dan Mahoney. Thank you. Pacific Empire Builders. When you look around, our goal is to produce the highest quality of developments, and it's important to us to find a contracting partner who also has those same standards. And we are very proud and very happy to have found them in Pacific Empire. So thank you so much, Pacific Empire Builders.
So what we did here is all about you. I don't know if I should say this, so I'm going to give this little bit, but let me introduce Aaron. Aaron, raise your hand. Aaron Smolinski is my assistant, and Aaron does amazing work. There are so many people, and we could, bore you with that, that you want to recognize and acknowledge who made everything possible. But Aaron, you're a peach, and we're so grateful for your help on doing these events. So he wrote down, Alvin, her brother and father, came to the U.S. on April 21st, 2009, just a year ago, from Iran. Yeah. And they moved to the Gardens in March, so 1 year later they hit the lottery, right? Truly hit the lottery. Because we had no role in the lease-up of this other than we were given a list from Glendale. 6,000 people approximately applied. We took the list starting with the first name on it and filled the building up. And how far, Jordan, did we get? Only to number what? Number 74. That's all we did is get to number 74. And that's pretty remarkable to fill a building because usually you're rejecting a number of people. So Glendale, you did a great job in going through the list even to get it there. And to fill, we have 1, 2, and 3 bedrooms here. But what was the purpose? The purpose was to house people like this family. And I'm going to turn the page. They live with their father. So you're the daughter.
Yeah,
right? Okay. Anyway, come on up. You're going to be speaking to us. And because it wouldn't be appropriate to have this open house without a member of the residents speak, to all of us and for us for what we all did in making this possible. So we're delighted to have you here.
Yeah.
So thank you.
Me too. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Alvin.
And my name is Eddie. I am a resident of this building, and today I am very happy for this program. And she is my daughter.
My family and I are residents of the gardens on Garfield. We have so much to be thankful for this year. I would like to first thank Thomas Safran and his associate and for everyone who made this affordable housing available. After struggling in Iran, we were determined to move to the U.S. to better our future. However, we were faced with many challenges in a very short period of time. We didn't know the language, we weren't unable to find a job, and almost had nowhere to live due to our financial difficulties. Just when we had lost hope and given up, our life changed. We were 1 out of 1,000 who applied for low-income housing and qualified to live here. By having the opportunity to live here, it's helped change my life to make a better living. It's given me the opportunity to further my education, to make new friends, to advance at work, and even save money. We have a chance. And also, fortunately, to have a resident manager like Miss Mariana, who enhances our vision with her special talents given willingly and passionately. Miss Mariana plans activities and connects with all the residents and has helped us stay united and by a part of one big family. I can proudly say this is the place I call home. Thank you.
All right, we can introduce everybody. I apologize if I didn't introduce you all. There's so many wonderful people who made it possible. We have a ribbon cutting in front of the building. We would like you to just come down. There is food and drink in the community room, and our residents helped make it, and we're so grateful for you. And please participate. If you haven't had a tour, there are tour guides still available to give it. We have a 1, 2, and 3 bedroom. On the ground floor, on this floor is a 3 bedroom, and on the 3rd floor is a 1 and a 2 bedroom, correct? Did I get it right? Okay. And thank you all for coming. Thank you all for making it possible. And we are so grateful. And so Mr. Starr is still here. Peter Zoback is still here. The city officials, along with